Usually at Gruen we aren't huge fans of spin, but there's one man for whom we'd make an exception, the king of spin, Shane Warne. Here is a campaign celebrating his legacy.
Come and hold my hand. I wanna contact the living. Not sure I understand the role I've been given.
One of the biggest hearts you've ever seen, and a lot of ability.
I sit and talk to God, and He just laughs at my plan. I just wanna feel real love, feel the home that I'm in.
I'm proud of the kids they've become, and I'm proud of the father I've become.
Cause I got too much life running through my veins.
I worked pretty hard to try and be the best version of myself I could
I
be.
need to feel real love and a life ever after. I cannot get enough.
Thanks to the work of his foundation, Shane Warne is directly responsible for over 300,000 people getting themselves checked on the Shane Warne Legacy Heart machines. The photos in the ad are like Warne himself, not always perfect, but perfectly candid. But the Warnie I loved actually fits a very different Robbie Williams song. Kieran, is this the perfect pitch?
Look, men are notorious for not being proactive about their health, right? So they might gym, etc., whatever, that's a different narrative. But when it comes to being aware of what's potentially a harm to you or just taking some screens and tests and everything that should be relevant, it's really hard to get them to take action. And when you show them a legend, somebody, a hero, someone that they looked up to, and then one, show them imperfect and show that it even got them, you're kind of driving this emotional message home, and I can see the impact of that. And you see that in the numbers, so there's actual effectiveness there. So it's a great effort in that respect. But I do think it's worth noting, like, the sound design of this ad is beautiful.
Yeah.
It really is. The choice of music, the levels of his voice mixed in with the song, with the heartbeat through it, and actually, like, we don't pay attention to these things enough, but it's beautiful sound production on this, and I think that's what hits home for me on this one.
Yeah, it's what's amazing about the ad is it's both a message and a memorial. Mm-hmm. It's coming from someone who is warning us and asking us to take action from someone who didn't. And we know that men over 40 in Australia are the most likely to get, to suffer from preventable heart disease and are the least likely to get checked or tested. And so what I love about it is that it's kind of less of a health warning and almost like a tap from a ghost. And Robbie Williams' lyrics, come hold my hand, I want to contact the living. This is contact to the other side, because it's Shane saying to us, this is a warning. Please take action. And for me, that's what makes it so powerful.
Yeah.
The fact that they're interjecting and they've got themselves on the ground at cricket, at footy games, when you've got, men often, obviously women as well, but out with mates or with family who may be a bit concerned about that person and who can sort of egg them on, get them to sit down, do a quick test is really, really genius. The other thing I think is interesting about this piece of film, and it's really incidental, and I don't think they've done it on purpose, but I think it's a nice aside, is there are many of us, myself included, who have vague but probably lasting memories of some of the speculation around his death. And with any high-profile celebrity, there's a little bit of fake news that sits in that. But we've got a really fast media cycle now, so you might not have been on the whole journey when the autopsy came out and when actually a lot of that fake news was cleared up and it became clear it was, heart attack and everything else. So I think what this does as well is it brings the man and the life and the story and the legend back to the front, and it puts all of that in the back, which I really love.
The media placement is also a big thing too. Sometimes media placements are an afterthought for agencies and for any creators of advertising. In this case, they did it at the MCG, right? So if you think about this soundscape coming, when you expect like the rah type of ads happening in any sport, this would have cut through.
Yeah,
and I think exactly. And I think that's a great choice too. They would have known that they wanted to play in stadiums. They wanted to get those audiences in those loud scenarios, and it's going to have that impact. And I think that's testament to a good sound choice here.
I did not like your idea that Warnie was watching us from the other side, though, because I know he'd be taking a cheeky peek at some stuff he shouldn't be. There are so many Warnie moments that will stay with us forever, but I always like to remember him through his advertising. From the advanced hair yeah-yeahs to this Victoria Bitter ad that looks like something we would make but is actually real.
A hard-earned thirst needs a big cold beer, and we'd like to raise one right now to Australia's favourite son, Warnie. Yep, when it came to tormenting the top order, Shane had him by the balls. Sure, his middle name may be Keith, but the Sultan of Spin could get almost anything to turn. Now, the great man may have hung up the box, but we can still toast him with an ice-cold beer. And the best cold beer is VB.